the Jo Cox murder. Why was he murdered? Yeah, for one thing, of course, everything is just for one thing, for realizing mass immigration and then white genocide. Everything in this world now has to lead to one thing only, one thing, white genocide. Everything. And it's happening all around you, right in front of your face. But I don't understand, why are people denying what's all around them? In the UK, everywhere, in France, but even in Russia. In Russia, it's mostly Muslims and not Africans, but it's horrible. The white race man soon will be terminated. Very simple, the white race being replaced and terminated. Facts. That's what everything is about. Also, this vote for a Brexit or a Remain, probably people are so scared and stupid they will vote to remain in the EU. If it's all a real vote, I don't know, but okay. And this Jo Cox, she was working also on the side of the socialists and the mass immigration and white genocide. She had a Muslim assistant. Why in heaven's name? She supported mass immigration. She was totally fooled with the false ISIS terror. She was working on that. And the stream of Syrian refugees. We have to help them. We have to give them all apartments and money. Why? We don't have to do that. Are you crazy? This Jo Cox, she was into something that was way over her head. Like so many women are in a position where everything's way over their head. You do a fake university study, probably Jo Cox studied gender equality or so. I didn't look it up, but probably some study like that. They all did a fake study like that. You work for the government or some phony good cause. She worked for Oxfam, you join a political party. Basically, you have a fake degree. You have never really worked a day in your life, and you're going to tell other people what to do. I mean, that's it. Is it any surprise it ended in a horror story for Jo Cox, someone who has been fooled all of her life? Of course not. If you live in the real world and not in the fantasy world, you know that there are always consequences. If you live in a fairy tale, there will be very bad consequences at one point. And that applies to everyone of us, not only Jo Cox. Let's leave the basics, this Hasidic rabbis, Zionist Jews, Freemasons, and get almost immediately into the murder case. Because something like this happened before with this Breivik. In Scandinavia, they wanted mass immigration too. And they had this Breivik guy, he shot maybe 30 young socialists at an island. I don't know how many exactly. But later it was found out that he is a Freemason. So he was not acting on his own with his own ideas. He was doing the work of the Freemasons. And the Freemasons are a phony operation. And they are fought out by the Hasidic rabbis, the false Jews. That's the truth concerning the Freemasons. But still, they are an organization that exists. They are controlled too. But yeah, they exist and they do awful things. That's the Freemasons for you. So with Jo Cox, it was the same. You had this socialist in Scandinavia that was shot. You had Jo Cox in the UK that was shot. But these people, they were supporting mass immigration. So why did they do it? Because then the other people who oppose mass immigration, who still have some sort of brain, they look like they are crazy and violent. Because that's how most people think. Like it's half emotions, half thinking. And they go like, oh, she was shot. Oh, that's bad. So other people, they are the ones that want to do bad things. Some people get like things like this in their brains. So it was just brainwashing, propaganda, and it worked. And there were a lot of suspicious things going on. 5 concrete things. For example, the reaction of politicians was orchestrated. That's a fact. John Burko, don't bow to a spirit of hatred. Huh? What? Why do you come up with that? And then Hillary Clinton. He's doing a favorite hobby, making satanic signs, because this Satanism is very important. Maybe you have no idea what it is. You think, oh, Satan is not real. But for them, it's very important, and they have power. So what they think of Satan is very relevant. What you think of Satan, you without any power, is not relevant. So you better understand what they are thinking about the Satan figure, because then you can understand your world better. She also reacted to the Jo Cox murder, and she said also something like, yeah, the United States, UK, two of the oldest democracies, yeah, that worked really well, now that we're both turning black, to be a democracy. But the white race erased. And then she continued like, we have to stand against hatred. What, also hatred? That's a coincidence. And then his Italian prime minister, this was an act of hatred. And they're all saying the same thing. And then Merkel with a pyramid sign of the Freemasons. And maybe say, it's a coincidence. I also stood at one picture once like that. But no, it's not a coincidence. She really knows what she's doing. This is also a satanic sign. Freemason satanic sign. And when she's not doing that, she's flaunting with her being a Hitler. Or do you live in the fairy tale world, the fantasy world, where she was elected? That you live in that conspiracy world. That she was elected and she has nothing to do with Hitler. She's not the daughter of Hitler or the niece of Hitler. That's a little bit unclear, but that's the only thing. Here's Netanyahu. He knows. Yes, Heil Hitler. Yeah, he knows. Yeah, funny. And you go like, oh, Hitler, the Holocaust. Oh, the Jews. He knows. He knows it's all a joke. Yeah. Angela, you look so much like your daddy now. And she does, actually. Look, the same look in her eyes, same nose, same chin, same cheeks. It's like a spitting image of her father. Yeah. And then she's supporting mass immigration. Yeah, we need more Muslims in Germany because that's so good. Oh, okay. Yeah, we have a lot of Muslims left everywhere in the world. We can come to Germany if you want. Yes, we want that. Oh, okay. We have free money for you. Free houses. Come. Oh, yes, I will call my family. They will come. That's how it goes. You can replace a white child. That's what's going on, people. Really. And she said, in reaction to the Jo Cox murder, don't say anything you want or there will be extremism. So basically, shut up about white genocide or we label you a racist. That's basically what she said. And Gordon Brown, we need a new culture of respect. But for whom? Respect for whom? For the white race? No, that's not what I meant. Oh, you meant like the standard crap. Like we need more respect for all these people that replace us, for immigrants. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, what kind of world do we live in? A white race, man is saying we need more respect for black people and Muslims. It's never respect for the white race man. Why is that, people? And then we had this Peter Kyle. There's so much hate. Again, hate. Because of the hate, communities are suffering. Yeah, of course. Because of some hate. It's not because normal British neighborhoods are all turning dark. No, it's not because of that there are tensions everywhere. No, it's because of hate. Don't hate. Yeah, really. And Obama, the Zionist Jew president, he also had something to say about it. So Conclusion, this is all planned. Otherwise, the comments would be much more diverse. Some talking about how sorry they feel for Joe or children, some about what it means for the world, but now it's all, this is because of hate speeches, hate, hate, hate. Shut up about immigrants. That's a basic message. So this is all orchestrated. Well, then there are the strange symbolism surrounding the murder. We had 9/11 with the Twin Towers collapsing, and one was a male, one was a female. And when they collapsed, they united and the new world order was conceived. And the NDAA got changed, then Americans now can be put in camps without a trial. That was the real reason for 9/11. And Hitler already said, people cannot imagine that big things like 9/11 or World War I or II are set up. But they are. That's one of your many weaknesses. The Russian Revolution started with a shot from the vessel Aurora, meaning new dawn, the dawn of Satan. And that's why there was a shooting in America to take the guns of the Americans in the Aurora Theater with men with psychological problems, a symbolic name, Aurora, New Dawn, an attempt to take the guns from the Americans. So this was a political shooting, just like with Jo Cox. It's an attempt to keep the United Kingdom in the European Union. And again, a building block for white genocide. That's what it's all about in the end. Everything. And with the Cox murder, you had this red jacket and her assistant was wearing a red dress. And I know red is the color of socialism and communism. Also no coincidence, it's the color of blood. You have to be killed in the end. I mean, through communism, after the Russian Revolution, about 50 to 100 million Russians were murdered. Look up communism, Putin, gulags at Google, you'll find the most horrible proof of what happened. So probably this is symbolizing blood. Some say it's symbolizing like a power or the power to act, to do things or so, but I think it's blood. Another red jacket worn by Rachel Reeves, trying very hard to cry, but she stays dry. I mean, the actors, they do it with onions. They hide them in their hands for the next murder, just a tip. And you had the red gloves of this crazy guy that killed her. Yes, of course he killed her, but it's not about him. It's about who set it all up. You don't really believe that he did it on his own. Too many things are too suspicious for that. And then her sister, her very happy sister, might I add. Her sister was slaughtered like a pig. 1 day or 2 days before this picture, smiling, happy, with a red bag. I mean, it gets more suspicious, these red gloves and the red bag. I mean, that's the symbolism they like. And the IS of the IZ from Zion, you think like, oh, that's nonsense. That's bullshit. But look up all the Bison, Horizon, Comet Eisen, IS, from these fake terrorists. These are all facts. It makes you think of Zion when they take over the world. Doesn't this make you think Z-I of Zion? Now that you know how they think with all this symbolism, if you know enough, you will immediately think of Zion. Immediately. So, conclusion, I know this is not proof. Yes, I'm not crazy. But it's a little bit too much of a coincidence. All these red items and the IZ from Zion. It shows there's a very good chance that this whole murder is wrapped in some occult theme to motivate the Freemasons that had to do the work. That's what it proves. You have the very, very, very suspicious behavior of her husband. I mean, wow, if I had a daughter and she would come home with this guy, I mean, holy shit. I would say, what, are you on drugs? Did you have a car accident? Did you bump your head on the street and you cannot think clearly anymore? Holy shit. In murder cases, detectives specifically look at the behavior of all the people involved to see if they are maybe involved and acting in a strange way. That's common practice. And this guy, I mean, his wife was murdered in a horrible way, and I did not experience the same thing, but similar things. And if something like this happens, you go like, no, it cannot be true. It cannot be true. It cannot. You go like this. You're going to shock. I mean, and this guy goes behind his computer and he puts a Twitter picture of his wife. I mean, it's incredible. Is this guy a psychopath? I mean, how is this possible? And then the next day or the day after, husband of MP Jo Cox pays emotional tribute and urges nation to unite in fight against hatred. What a coincidence! There are so many coincidences. That's strange. Maybe this is all set up. Hillary Clinton was also talking about hatred. And these British politicians and the Prime Minister of Italy, they all said hatred. That's strange. Would almost think that there's something not totally right here. Huh? Holy shit, people. Do you have a brain? Can you think? Holy shit. Wow. And then there's this picture with his sons. What a phony. What a poser. Look what he's reading. Rosa Parks. I mean, this black woman that went to sit in the bus in a place for white people somewhere in the 50s or so. I mean, these poor boys, to have such a dad. I mean, it's horrible. I mean, they are white race. And then they have to read these books about black heroes. Daddy, are white people bad? No, not all white people are bad. But yeah, many are. Oh. Are black people good? Yeah, black people are very good. I will read now about the black hero. Come on. That's insane. And then this picture. I mean, here are the Coxes. Who was in control in this relationship? I mean, that's clear. I mean, when I look at this picture, then this is the first time I feel sympathy for her. I mean, she's just a misguided girl. I mean, she should have taken care of her lovely boys. But instead of that, she had some phony socialist career with only one purpose: white genocide. And of course she did not know all that. But come on. Conclusion. Totally fishy things going on here that should be very well investigated by police. Will they be investigated? Well, don't know, probably not, because this is just like 9/11. 9/11 happened and immediately after a few hours, Bin Laden did it. And here, after a few hours, police are investigating far-right links in the murder case of Jo Cox. I mean, somebody's murdered and then within an hour or 2 hours, they immediately know everything. Like, yeah, he had far-right sympathies and he requested all this information with extremist groups, etc. It's like with Breivik, remember? You have people on the right, they are the crazies, they are extreme, they do bad things. And you have the people on the left, they are the good ones. Mass immigration is good, they are the bad. And the police is aiding this psy-op, they call it now, psychological operation. And the mayor of London, Sadiq Khan. I mean, what if a mayor in Morocco or Saudi Arabia was a white man? And here we have Johnny Van Broeken or so. He's the mayor of some city in Iran or Iraq. I mean, that's impossible. It's impossible. And when it happens to us, that dark people are taking over the white race countries, then, oh yeah, it's normal. You have to accept it. Hey, come on, it's crazy. Just like this woman, she was telling the truth. Everybody around us is becoming black, dark. There's no future for my white race boy. And she was labeled a racist. It's horrible. Freemason judges, journalists, politicians are all committing suicide, of course. Horrible. Horrible. The police is aiding this psychological operation where everybody who's against mass immigration, against white genocide, is labeled an extremist. Holy shit. If the police would be interested in solving this case, it would be about facts, not about politics. So that's also doesn't make sense, not correct, not right. Suspicious behavior of a sister and mother. I mean, why is she smiling? I mean, this is 1 or 2 days after her sister was slaughtered like a pig and her child was slaughtered like a pig, and they're smiling. I mean, her dad, he has like the reaction you would expect. Like, he's sad, of course, and like she's very happy. And in the United States, something like this happened with Sarah Johnson. She murdered her parents, and everybody thought like, oh, this poor girl. I mean, nobody knew who did it. But she went like, oh yeah, la la la. And then the detectives, they thought like, hey, that's strange. They investigated her, and she shot her mom and dad with a hunting gun, a hunting rifle. Yeah, I mean, this is, in murder cases, this is suspicious behavior, fact, protocol. A protocol with how detectives have to analyze all these murder cases. If there's suspicious behavior that doesn't make sense of relatives, you have to look into it. They have to do it. If they didn't do it, they did a bad job. So why it should happen? This should be investigated. And here she's smiling again after the ceremony. It's suspicious. I'm not saying Cox was a puppet controlled by the one she trusted and loved, that followed orders of the Zionist cabal that wants to rid the UK of the white race. From an early age, she was shaped to be kept as a card in the sleeve, to be played when it was needed, like now with the EU. Well, actually, that's exactly what I'm saying. Is it the truth? I don't know. Was she a puppet that was kept to be played at the right time? I don't know. But I do know the truth will be damn close. All these suspicious things should be investigated, just like in a regular murder case. Will that happen? If everybody keeps silent about our control, the Freemasons, the white genocides? Probably not. So let's also remember Jo Cox as the poor, misled girl that she was. But at the same time, remember one thing: this is all about white genocide. It's the only thing that is important in our lives at this point.